So let's fast forward. We finished SummerSlam. He does some cool stuff with all the Warriors at Survivor Series. He's got the Road Warriors. He's got Kerry Von Erich, the modern day Warrior. So it's all warriored out. Fast forward on into the Royal Rumble, and it looks like the winds of change are here. He's in a match against Sergeant Slaughter. The Macho Man interferes, cracks a scepter over him, which looked like a really stiff shot as a child. Totally believable. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. It was fantastic. And now it looks like we're going to be doing something different for WrestleMania 7. So why is the decision made here, going from 6 into 7, hey, let's get the belt off a Warrior?
The idea was Sergeant Slaughter coming in as a heel, first of all. Going backwards to the summer was Sarge returning and Sergeant Slaughter being this former American patriot to now he's going to be this big anti-Iraqi embracing heel. And it caught on. It was hot. And as we got into it and we were at odds with the country of Iraq as the United States, and tensions were very heated, and it was something that wrestling's always done. You have the foreign villain and you have the red, white, and blue hero.
Right.
So it was just a natural progression, and Hulk was back, and Hulk was the, by God, real American. And it was time to let what would be the ultimate WrestleMania at that point. And I know I've told the story on the Flair show about Tugboat, Chic Tugboat. And
let's go ahead and catch everybody up, because not everybody who listens to your show listens to Ric Flair.
The original idea for WrestleMania 7 in the Los Angeles Coliseum, 107,000 people.
Vince McMahon's idea.
Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
Okay.
Yes. Was... We had, what the hell
Let's put this in context. So,
Sheik Adnan Al-Kaisi.
Earthquake had squashed Hulk Hogan. You guys did a letter writing campaign asking for little bracelets, save Hulk Hogan. Tugboat is his friend on TV, giving everybody updates on Hogan.
Correct.
He's really off
Hulk
making
Hogan's
a movie,
best friend, by God. We're trying to portray him as this big baby face guy. And the idea was for Tugboat to turn on Hogan and to embrace Sheik Casey, and
so he would be the Iraqi sympathizer,
and he would go in with the turban as Sheik Tugboat and go against Hulk because he was this big guy, and it was a big size and stature villain and a former friend of Hulk's to get us to that point. Sarge came in, and Sarge, man, God, they hated him. He was red hot as a heel. And this is before we went to war, man, because I remember we declared war on the night of Royal Rumble. We were in the event. George Bush comes on and says, we have declared war on Iraq. And it's, God, all of a sudden this great entertainment
became real.
Rivalry. It was real before, but now it's
a thing.
Oh, my God, we're going to be sending kids to war.
Yeah.
So the winds have changed. It wasn't like there was a change. There was a plan. And the plan always was to go to Hulk and Tugboat and then Hulk and Slaughter. So it was time to move on and transition into Warrior. Randy was ready for a break. And what better way than to do a retirement match and, again, give another nod to the Ultimate Warrior by beating Randy Savage and retiring him.
So let's talk about that. You guys are trying now to come up with something for Warrior since he's not in the title picture, and it was a big deal for WrestleMania 6 to go off the air, and he's got both the Intercontinental and the World title. He's just toppled Hulk Hogan. Huge main event. First one international. I know it's in Canada, but still, that counts. So now we're at 7, and he loses the belt just a couple months before. So how does the idea come up? We're going to give him Savage, and we're going to make it a retirement match. What's the plan or the thinking, or whose idea was that?
I really don't remember. I was in production at the time, and that was a lot Pat and Vince. But it was simply a transition. What do we do with all these guys? And again, you're matching up your top guys. Got Hulk with Sarge, and then, who's next? It's Warrior and Savage. It's just one of those deals. You're looking at a roster, and what do you do with these guys? And it was a very natural, easy to buy progression and program. So it was Randy.
But the retirement angle, help me with that.
The retirement angle was as simple as Randy wanting some time off and Randy wanting to get away for a little bit.
So Randy comes to you guys and says, I need some time off.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I have no idea, but I know Randy, I don't know who he talked to, what he said, other than Randy was looking for some time away from the business for a little bit. He had been going for so many years nonstop.
So it wasn't something he had to be talked into. He was all about it.
Oh, yeah.
And was he comfortable working with the Warrior? Because that really was a really good match.
Yes.
And I feel like people like to bag on the Ultimate Warrior, present company included. But WrestleMania 6 was a really good match for him. WrestleMania 7 was an even better match with him, with Macho Man.
I agree. Randy had no problem working with Warrior.
Big feel-good moment at the end of WrestleMania 7 in their match. Miss Elizabeth comes in from the crowd, reunites with Randy. Was that a way to try to set up? Did you already know we were going to do the wedding angle at SummerSlam at that point? Or was it just, hey, if he's going to take time off, let's let him come back as a babyface and let's give him a reason to do that?
Yeah, it was essentially to reunite them. It was tough on them during that time in public because Randy took everything so seriously and Randy lived the gimmick to the hilt. So it was a way for them to get back together. They could live their lives. And
do you think you guys knew the SummerSlam wedding angle at that point? Did you already have that in?
I don't really remember. I know that the proposal and the wedding and all that happening, yes, we knew that, but everything else just grew organically.